I was partying when I first got here, doing a lot of partying, going to the clubs, and I'm like, that's cool. You go out, you drink, you're having a good time, but you walk away from it, and what did you really gain, right? So my events are more geared towards, okay, what are we going to gain from this? You have a business, I have a business. You have a talent, I have a talent. We have different things, so...
My business could use your talent.
Right. So how can we all work together?
All right, joining me for the interview, I got Miss Chrissy Radiance.
Yes.
Such a great name.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Where'd that come from?
So my name is Chrissy, and Radiance just came up because I'm like, Radiance, my smile, I feel like my energy, that's just the type of vibe, so it just went with it. And I was like, I like how it sounds. It has a nice little ring to it.
Okay.
So it's stuck.
Good. So you're an art person. You're into the arts.
Yes.
Arts. You teach art to kids. You're a photographer, which is an art. And you're all about. You're new to Charlotte.
I am.
What brought you here to Charlotte?
I came to Charlotte about a little over a year. My brother moved here, and I was visiting during the pandemic, coming back and forth. And I was like, you know what? I like how it made me feel being here. Very peaceful, more clean. I'm from New York, and so it's just like a more clean environment. And I was like, I like this. It makes me feel good. So I was all up for something different, and I decided to move here.
Mm-hmm. And teaching art, how long have you been doing that?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
so
2 years.
What were you doing before that?
I was doing a little school safety.
Okay.
So security in the schools. That was my main thing, really.
Okay.
School safety.
So that switch happened while you were still up in New York, or?
Yeah, that's what I was doing in New York.
Okay. What brought that on?
School safety?
No, the switch.
The switch? Well, I knew I always wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
From the time I was a child. Like, I remember my favorite gift. My mom bought me a chalkboard, and that was just like the time for me to just. My cousins were like my students. I was always a teacher, and I don't know. I enjoy educating people.
Okay.
And so that started very young, and I just knew what I wanted to do for a long time. Yeah.
Cool. Now, with the photography, how long you been doing that?
I've been doing that seriously for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
You get money with it?
Yes, now. I'm making money now with it. Before, it was just a hobby, something to do. I bought the camera for my birthday. I gifted myself a camera. And once I moved here, I took it seriously. I was like, you know what? I started wearing it wherever I went, and people were actually like, hey, you do photography? Oh, I have a birthday coming up, or I have this event. And it started with like, oh, my uncle's birthday, and it's been working.
So you got business just by wearing the camera? Just
by wearing my camera, being social, networking, I'm
going to have to try that. I'm going to take my video cameras out.
You should.
When I first got them, I would take them out just because I wanted to learn how to use them.
Yeah.
But I haven't been doing that lately. But that's good. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people, photographers, who are like, man, I want more clients.
Right.
Just take your camera out.
Take it.
Wear it around your neck.
Literally, go on Amazon, get one of these things. This is just, you strap it on. Sometimes I forget it's here. But it's just a part of me. So like, hey, this is what I do without me even telling you.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So what do you like to shoot?
I really enjoy family events, the interaction, the joy, people seeing, like, especially when they're dancing. I love to capture people dancing. I love to dance, so for me, it's like that's a joy. Anything where you're doing and you're enjoying yourself, smiling, people together, eating food, whatever it is, I like to capture those moments. Yeah,
that's what's up. You do a lot of editing and all that stuff.
I do it, but not a lot of it. But I do edit.
Okay.
Yes.
The editing part of that seems
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That seems like it. So no headshots and
headshots. Yeah.
You do headshots?
I do headshots.
What about like glamour shots and people doing all that?
glamour shots, photos, like the fashion shows. I've done fashion shows here in Charlotte at Camp North End. So I like the fact that I've gotten into a lot of events here because I just went out there. When I first got here, I was just going to places, doing things for free. Just, hey, you have this going on, I'll come do it. Krispy Kreme, they did like a corporate event. I went and did that. I was like, let me get myself out there, you know?
Oh, that's a big deal. You go to an event like that. That had to be a great experience.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Krispy Kreme called me for something.
I called them, like, I was on it.
So how did that go?
So a DJ that I know, he was booked for an event, and I saw that, and I was like, you know what, let me give them a call. Hey, you looking for a photographer? That's how I do it. Hey, you looking for a photographer? I'm from New York, I'm willing to do it, and work out a deal with them, see where the budget at the time, and go with it.
It's a paid gig, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So you just call them up. So basically, yeah. So do you cold call a lot?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. If I go online and I see something, let's say on Instagram, I'll give them a call. I just saw a club that I'm interested in, and I just sent them an email. Send them some of my work. Yeah. Hey, this is what I have going on. Like, I'm very aggressive about what I want.
That's that New Yorker.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's that New Yorker.
Yeah.
So lately you've been hosting events called Dine with the Bosses.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about what that is and what do you guys do there?
Sure. So Dine with the Bosses, that came about when I was really out there trying to find places where I could network, trying to find my circle, find my tribe. And I don't know, like, I wouldn't say I'm standoffish. I'm not really, but it's hard to kind of figure me out. And I'm not one to really just go out there and just, so for me, it was just like, all right, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. I know what I want, but I don't see it. So how can I create this, right? And so I decided, hey, I'm just going to create this space, for professionals, creatives, entrepreneurs. Let's get together. Like, all right, I was partying when I first got here, doing a lot of partying, going to the clubs. And I'm like, that's cool. You go out, you drink, you're having a good time. But you walk away from it, and what did you really gain, right? So my events are more geared towards, okay, what are we going to gain from this? You have a business, I have a business. You have a talent, I have a talent. We have different things. So
my business could use your talent.
Right. So how can we all work together? Yeah. How can we collaborate? I'm big on collaboration. Yeah. A lot of people like to compete, and I'm just like, I don't have time for that. Let's collaborate. Let's see how we can use our talents together. Let's unite, because it's a stronger force when you come together, and I'm all about community,
That's what's up. So I've often had those ideas where, put together a mixer or something like that to where people can get together. Like the businesses who need videographers and photographers, they get together. And but that's good that you do that.
Thank you.
So to come to a new city, and within a year or so, and be able to put something like that together, that's admirable. Like that takes some hustle.
Thank you.
How does that work with going about? You get to start, and you saying, I want to have this event. What's step one in actually putting that together? Okay.
The first step is really believing in yourself, of course, just like, I can do this. So it was just having that self-talk, the support. My friend Neff, she's always supporting what I do. So I was like, listen, this is my idea. This is what I want to do. She's like, all right, let's go for it. I just put it out there. I just let a couple people know, hey, I have this event. And, at first you need a spot, right? Of course, where to do it. So the first spot that I did it at, the venue, was actually a restaurant with one of my students, the school that I work at. They just opened up a restaurant. And I was like, you know what? I want to help you guys get business at the same time. We could help each other. Yeah. They were all for it. New business, sure. We want some new faces. So it was kind of easy to get that going. Yeah. And so once I had the venue, I took off from there. I started, Eventbrite, put everything out, like the details of the event, I had to think about how I wanted this event, right, to envision it. And then once I did that, started hitting people up. Hey, have this event. Can you come out? They were buying tickets. And I was like, okay. So the tickets were going. People were interested. And I think what makes people even more interested is when they know there's something to gain from it. Right. So, I could gain something from this. I go in there. I can tell people about my business. they get time to actually get up and talk about their business. So whether you're shy, whether you feel like, oh, I'm not really someone that publicly speak, but it's a good way to start that, a good way to get out there. You know what I'm saying? So I started out like that, and it moved, like it worked. And when the event came together, it was really nice. And people, what I loved about it was watching people like really network and interact.
Yeah.
Seeing like something happening, like, oh, I seen people, photographers. The first event, my panel were all photographers, and I wasn't intimidated. I wasn't worried about, oh, they're gonna get the gig, because they did get gigs from it. Yeah. It didn't matter to me, because what's for me is for me, and whatever's for you is for you. So I didn't look at it. Some people would say, well, why would you have other photographers and you do the same thing? Why would you have them? That's competition. To me, it's like, no. Whatever's for them is for them, and what's for me is for me, and it's gonna work out. So we looked out.
But that happened because of you. Like you were the one who facilitated that whole thing. So that's gotta feel good too. Yeah. And then you're a resource. You become a resource for everybody that's in there. The photographer who now gonna be waiting for your next event, right? Because they want to, right. And then the people that came there and found that photographer.
There you go.
They're gonna tell more people, hey, I found my photographer here.
Absolutely.
So that's dope.
Thank you.
So after your first event, how did it go with the next one?
So after the first one, then I did another one, and the next venue, I really love this venue, Sports One, really nice place, just top notch. I just like the way the place looked, to be honest, And so I did the event there. I'm actually doing this one here too. It's gonna be at the same place, and for me, they loved it. More people this time. I had DJs. More photographers, nurses. I mean, different professionals were there, and they had that opportunity to speak, and people working together, and like, oh, we're gonna do this. And I actually saw that, like, on Instagram. I'm talking about later on, seeing like, oh, this person went and worked with this person. They done collaborated, outside of the event, and that made me feel really good. Like, it had purpose. Everything for me has to have some kind of purpose. I don't want to just do stuff just to do it.
That's dope. That's dope. What I like is that, like, you're not from here. Like, to be able to just go out there and just say, I'm gonna do it. Just find a spot. Now, how much do you pay for these spots? Like, do you pay like?
I work out a deal with them. I work out a deal with them where.
Do they give you a break just because they know you're gonna be bringing in?
Pretty much, we work it out pretty much like that. So it works for me because I'm not really putting out too much.
At least you sell the tickets and you get your money back.
There you go. Right? Yeah.
That's what's up.
I would like to make more. Obviously you want it to be beneficial financially, but I believe in starting out like you got to crawl before you walk.
Absolutely.
So I'm in that, that stage, but
your dues and all that stuff.
There you go.
Have you gained a lot of business from your events? What's going on, everybody? CJ Williams, host and producer of this podcast. In case you're wondering how me and my guests are interacting with one another, or even what we look like, want to know more, you can head over to the YouTube channel to watch the full video of this show, or this podcast. The link is in the show notes, or you can head on over to Life of a Video Producer, the YouTube channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, one more thing, if you yourself want your own video podcast, guess what? We can make that happen for you. Head over to my website, ptmediapros.com, fill out the form, and I will get back to you, and we will talk about how we can make your show come to life. All right? I think that's it for now. Let's get back to the show.
Not really.
No?
Not really as far as the business. So far, since I've been doing it, it's been more of others collaborating. But that's the goal, to get there. Yeah, so it's still in that, that stage. But we're growing and getting there, and I'm confident that it will get where I want it to go, and I will reach the goals that I have in mind.
Mm-hmm. So already for the next one, is it already shaping up to be bigger than the last one?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
How many, attendance-wise, how many did you have at the last one?
The last one, we had about 70-something people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the one before that was about like 50-something. This time, I'm looking for that to double. Okay. Or even more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the venue will love that too.
Yeah, of course, yeah. She was very happy with the results.
That's what's up. Yeah. So, Let me ask you a little bit about the photography. How many you carry around a bunch of lenses?
I have right now I only have 2 lenses.
On 2.
I have the one that I got done. This is the Nifty 50. They call
Nifty
it
50. Yeah, Nifty 50.
The Nifty 50. Yeah.
Now, you had mentioned you wanting to get into weddings.
Yes, that is my goal.
As somebody who does video, I've never done a wedding, but I'd say the last thing I want to do is a wedding.
Really? Why?
Because you can't do another take on anything. If you miss that shot. I know. And then you got bridezillas, you know, hey, did you get this? Did you get that? Like, you know, your budget didn't cover that.
Right,
you know,
right,
your budget was for one
Let's talk
or
about
2
that,
cameras.
The budget.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you, since we talk about budget, do you outright ask people when you talk about like what their budget is?
Yeah, I do hear. One thing I noticed too, people don't want to spend money. Mm-hmm. So you kind of want to feel where they're at. Now, if they say something that's like totally lowballing my price, I'm like, no, I can't do it.
Right.
But if it's something, I'm like, okay, I could do that. You know, I try to work with them because I am new in it. Mm-hmm. I'm new here and new in photography, so it's like you kind of have to be humble at the same time. And I get it. Everyone's like trying to make a living and trying to do other things, so I try to be fair as best as I can be. But I don't want it to be where I'm not paying myself either.
Right.
I'm working for free.
Yeah. So do you send proposals and contracts?
Yes,
and all that?
I do contracts, proposals. For sure, definitely.
Do you have a software that you use for that, or is it just like an email?
I do it through an app, like the invoice app.
Okay.
Yeah, send them like the invoices and stuff like that.
Does it that does proposals?
Yeah,
and contracts as well.
Well, the contract, no.
Okay.
The invoice, as far as like their receipts and what we discussed.
What's the name of that app?
I put the details. It's just it's an invoice app.
Invoice app.
Literally invoice app. Yeah.
Okay. So for people out there who want to look more professional,
yeah, the invoice app
that matters.
Yeah, it does. It's a difference when you have that. I love your contract, like the waiver that you did. I'm gonna use that.
Listen, ChatGPT.
Use that.
ChatGPT and said, I need a waiver for a podcast for the guests for a video podcast.
I like that.
And it's
very professional, and it covers you.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to do that.
Yeah. Let me know. I can, whatever you need when it comes to that.
Thank you.
But so what else? What brings you here? Besides, you having your event. Like, what brings you here?
Well, it's very important to get your voice out there, and it's funny because right now I'm congested. I'm congested at the time, and I was like, oh man, like why right when I'm supposed to do this, I get congested because at the school with the kids and but
hold up. You know what? At the school with the kids, what? Because there's all kinds of germs there, right?
There you go.
I got a 2-year-old daycare like every week.
And there you go. Something. So I was like, oh man, so my voice on the sound all funny, and I'm like, you know what? Doesn't matter. Get your voice out there, and it's so important to be heard. You have to get out there. You have to get comfortable with that. Be comfortable with yourself and just hearing yourself. Mm-hmm. And when you're sick or whatever, it's like, this is me. So I just wanted to come out and really try something different. I've never done a podcast before. And I was like, I can do it, and I just have to put myself out there, even things that you might be a little nervous about. Mm-hmm. Go out there and do it.
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
So you had mentioned we were talking about family-oriented events.
Yes.
And that's something you are really passionate about being able to do.
Absolutely.
Where does that come from, first of all?
That comes from understanding that there's a lot of dysfunction in family. And that's across the board. Sometimes you have people that are painting a perfect picture. I'm very realistic. So you just find that people I talk to and when we're exchanging and just going into like our own personal experiences and going through healing and resolving trauma, like, stuff you've been through, trying to like understand yourself and what you've been through. And so with that, it's just like working with my students, and they come and tell me about their own family issues and their family dynamics, and trying to understand why is my family like this. It's like, it's okay. We all have that. Right.
There's one in every family.
Yes. Exactly.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. We all have one of it. Yeah. Something, as you said. So it's just like, it's okay. It's very common, and once you realize it's common, I think that changes things. So I'm like, you know what? The family events for me, bringing people together, like, this is what it was. I did an event with a family, and I mean, that family, they danced. Like, the whole family, grandma, grandpa, everyone was just out, and it was just beautiful to see generations just having a good time, and I had the most fun capturing that. And I'm like, that's what I want to see. I want to see it in it, just to see, like, a mom and dad, son, daughter, whoever, just come together, enjoy themselves, whether they're eating, drinking, whatever it is. Like, if I could capture that, those special moments, those milestones, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm. If you weren't teaching, what would you be doing full time?
If I were not teaching, it would have to be something to work with children, though. Mm-hmm. I love working with children, so maybe coaching, a sport or something.
Did you play a sport?
Not really. Mm-hmm. Not professional, like not in school, but basketball, on a block or something. I'm not really athletic. But
a lot of time, coaches is about motivating.
There you go.
That somebody got to be able to see the whole field.
There you go.
So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'd be a coach.
Now, speaking of coaching, do you have a coach?
Do I have a coach? I have mentors. Mm-hmm. One of my mentors, she was a principal, assistant principal at a school that I worked at when I did school safety. She's someone I could always talk to, especially in the school system, understanding things, and so she would be considered my coach for sure. Mm-hmm.
What about here in the photography and event planning space that you're in? You don't have anybody that you?
There's a few people that I do connect with. Mm-hmm. They're all busy doing their own thing, so it's not like it's a constant thing. But Morgan, there's a lady by the name of Morgan. She was really good when I first got out here. She kind of helped me out with events, and she actually have an event coming up tomorrow that I'm going to. So I would say she's a coach, someone that I look up to.
What kind of event does she do?
She does a lot of the social, it's not a club, it's a private venue, but they do food and dancing and stuff like that. So I don't know how you would really describe it, because it's not a club, but she does events, fun events. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you done any networking? Is that something, going to networking events? Is that something you do?
Yeah, I love networking events. That's important to me, because it's all about who you know. Mm-hmm. We hear that all the time, but it's so true. Who you know is so important. And so when you're in a new city, you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Right? So I had to learn I have to get out there. I have to be bold enough to talk to people, go up and introduce myself, because without that, how am I going to get to my next level? So networking is extremely important.
Yeah. To me, that's hard. I'm more of a introvert.
Yeah.
I don't like going to talk to people, striking up random conversation. And that's probably, and I know my business could be so much bigger if I was that type of person. Yeah. But I tend to focus more on creating content and looking attractive that way, attracting people with my content, so I don't have to go out and do it, force myself to do something that I'm not comfortable doing. Let me ask you about content. Do you have a way of producing content or something that you do that do you have a goal with your content?
I do have a goal. My goal, of course, is to have more content, because I feel like we're the opposite. Because you have the content, and for me, I have content in my phone and on those SD cards and stuff like that, but do I really put it out there all the time? No. And so if you look on my Instagram, I should have way more stuff on my Instagram, because I've done so much here since I've been here. And sometimes I'll just be over it,
Why not just put it out there?
I need to.
And I will. Yeah. Now, how important is Instagram for you? Do you put a lot of weight in Instagram?
Because like it's funny because with social media, I don't really like social media personally, as far as like to put myself out there as much, but with the business you have to, right? It's important, rather. So I'm always stuck between the two of I don't really feel like being bothered with it. I'm living life like I'm in the real world living life, but it's just like you do have to put it out there because if you don't put your content out there, how will people know what you have going on? How would sometimes people are like, oh, can I see your catalog? Now I done paid for a whole website, like the domain. I got the domain, everything. Do I have a website? No, I need to get that going.
That should be a priority.
Right. I need someone to help me with this website because that is so important, and I'm dragging my foot with that. But I need to get my website up so that when they do ask, hey, just go on my website. Right. Everything's there.
So when people do ask now, what do you send them?
Instagram, which doesn't have much, and I know I could get more business if I get my website going. So that is on my to-do list for real. Yeah.
Where do you get a lot of your information from? Like learning, like do you read podcasts or what?
For photography, as far as photography
just
goes?
General, like where do you get? What do you learn? Your maybe self-help type stuff, like
reading. Oh yeah, I read a lot.
Yeah,
I love reading.
Was there something recently that you read that's like changed your view or something or anything? That's a tough question.
That is a tough question. That is a tough one.
Do you have a favorite book? How about that?
I have a favorite book. Let's see. What is my favorite book? I don't really have a favorite, really. I read a lot of Napoleon Hill books.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Napoleon Hill. So yeah, his stuff is good. I've read most of his books. Yeah. Okay.
What's been the biggest culture shock from moving out here from New York?
That there's not much culture here.
There's not much culture here.
Yeah, coming from New York, where we're so rich in culture, and so multicultural and
everybody's
so
there.
diverse, and so here you don't get that, and so it's hard. It's a hard adjustment, but I'm just like, how can you get that? Because there are people here that are doing things, but it's just like it's so limited. And I don't know why that is because Charlotte could be so much greater.
Well, one of these, we don't live on top of each other like in New York. Like true. It's spread out,
That's true.
But you still chose to come here though. Not much culture here.
Yeah.
But you still chose to come here. It's good. You said it's cleaner.
It's cleaner. There are opportunities, and there's not so many. Like New York is so many people doing the same thing. Not so much here.
They will run you over in New York. Like last time I've been there, just walking like, "Bang, what up, man?" Yeah. They don't care. Like
no one cares. No one cares.
They will walk right through you.
That is true.
That's crazy. But New York is a great place. Like
it is.
I love it. You miss it?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I do.
Have you been recently?
Yeah, I just came back 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, went to go visit my grandmother, and so it was cool, nice to get home. But I realized that I wouldn't move back to live. I like living here, but just going home to visit often is important, just to see my family.
Money go a little bit longer down here, right?
Yeah,
get a little bit more for your money.
Absolutely, right? You get a whole lot more for your money here.
So, do you have a hobby outside of the photography?
Hobbies. I just like making money.
So,
right? I need to be better at hobbies because hobbies are like, what you're doing for fun, and I realize it myself.
It's okay to say that making money is your hobby. Like,
right.
I'm okay with that. Like,
because I thought about it one day. I was like, I don't really have a hobby. Everything is geared towards how to make my next dollar. To be honest, even with photography, it was more like use this to make money to pay my bills, and So I'm always on that survival aspect, but I do want to kind of just have something I do for fun. I would like to do that.
Not dating or anything like that here in Charlotte?
No.
No?
Nah.
That by choice?
By choice, for sure. Okay. Yeah.
Why?
I haven't found anyone that interests me. Yeah. It's very hard to intrigue me and for me to even want to go on a date. I probably went on 2 dates since I've been here, and I was over it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So, what's the message you want to leave with the people, the audience?
The main message really is like we really got to come together. You know, when I moved here, I was supporting so many people, and when I went out, it was like as a patron, of course, going to different events, nightlife, you know. And so when I started doing my own thing, I didn't get that support. You know, it was like I became a competition to the people who I once supported. They're like, "Oh, you trying to do something? Oh, really?" Like, they didn't say it in words, but their actions showed it. Like, you were just coming out supporting and, you know, spending your money buying tickets to our events. I have my event, you're not buying a ticket to my event. You know, you're not showing up to my stuff. So at first I took it personal and it was bothering me, and then I was like, I don't take it personal because you're still getting support. It's just not from the people that you thought it would be from.
Right.
And
sometimes the best support comes from strangers.
There you go. So I just wish everyone would realize, like, yo, we just need to come together, and it will work out so much better if we just work together, support each other, and just be a community for real. All this division and competition. And
do you think it's more? Are you talking to our people?
Of course, yeah, I am. Sadly, I am. You know, and it makes, and I've been like, you know what, I want to go outside of our people. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, that's how I feel. That's where I'm at currently. Like, all right, enough of that. You know, I tried. And so I'm going to do something else where I feel like I'd be more respected and more valued, to be honest, you know? Unfortunately, that's
I hate that's the case. Like, I mean, you don't know how many times I hear that. Like, I go on jobs with people and one of the first things they say, man, I'm like, glad you're not our last guy, you know.
Yeah.
Our last guy, they be like, your last guy, they be like, you know our people.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
That's sad, but
it is.
That's okay. I'll get the money then. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Somebody gotta get it.
There you go. Someone gotta get it. Let it be you.
So 30 seconds. Tell everybody about your event that's coming up.
All right.
That's your camera right there.
Yes. So guys, I want to invite you guys out to this event, June 23rd. It's a Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Sports One. It's what's the address? 519. No, I don't know the address off the top of my head.
That's okay.
So I gotta get back on that one. But I would love for you guys to be at this event. 521 North College Street. 521 North College Street. June 23rd, 6 to 9 p.m. Definitely would like you guys to be out. This is a good event if you're looking to network, if you're looking to just, you know, meet some people. If you're celebrating a birthday, an occasion, this is a great opportunity for that because we'll definitely celebrate with you. And I'm inviting you all out. You know, it's going to be a good time. Hit me up on Instagram, Pivotal Promotions, Pivotal, PIVOTAL _promotions. Definitely. Thank you guys for your time.
Why is your Instagram private?
I just put it private the other day. It was public, and then it was just some people being weird on my page. And I was like, you know, let me put it private for a little bit, just to kind of like, I don't know. It was like some weird thing going on. Just, I don't know if they're just looking to look. You're not supporting. You're just there to just look. So
what do you mean? Were they saying anything? Like what do you mean?
They weren't really saying anything in particular, just certain people, and then these pages was just coming up. People were just making up pages, and could be people from the past. Who knows? People just do weird things sometimes. But I was like, I literally just put it private. It's usually public. I just did it. I'm gonna put it back public, but it's always public. Just like maybe 2 weeks now, I've had it private just to kind of throw them off, really. Mm-hmm. But my page is normally public.
All right. Where else can people find you?
I'm also on Facebook.
Okay.
Pivotal Promotions on Facebook.
Okay. Is that private too?
No, it's not private. Okay. I have a TikTok, Pivotal Promotions as well. I don't use it as much as I should, but it's there. So yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to leave with the people?
It's all love. Like, you know, I'm all about positivity and love and spreading that energy, that light, you know. And so When I go out to events, that's just what I'm all about. When I interact with people, that's what I'm about. So I just want to see more of that. And I know life is hard and we all going through something, but you can make it a little easier for yourself and others just by showing love, you know. So I just want to leave it with that, for real.
Cool. That's what's up. Good job.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Again, this is CJ Williams, host and producer of this podcast. Be sure to head over to the YouTube channel, Life of a Video Producer, to check out the full video of this interview, or you can click on the link in the show notes. If you have any questions, feel free to send them over to me. Email them to me, cjwilliams@ptmediapros.com. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in, listening to the show. I want to thank you for watching the video and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Until next time, everybody, go show up better.